Yeah. So this podcast, hello guys, by the way. This podcast is going to be about guns, motorcycle, Mr. Roosevelt here. This guy.
Oh yeah?
Right? What was the episode? How to quit quitting.
What an awesome title. Who thought of that? So I would say that most people overcomplicate things and they want to get things perfect from the beginning, which is why, it never works. You put too much pressure on yourself. You have all these check boxes in your head that you think you have to, check in for this whole thing to work for you. Instead of starting slow, starting small, and, building up slowly.
So would you say most people rush into it when they should, and they have unrealistic high expectations of themselves when they're first starting? They expect themselves to make no mistakes whatsoever, straight from the get-go. Again, as we said on this previous podcast, because we're filming all those in one go, you can't learn. You can expect yourself to get on a surfing board, for example, or do whatever.
Use a new metaphor, man. Enough with the surfing board.
Yeah, but you can't jump on a surfing board and expect yourself to ride the biggest wave there is straight out the gate. You will start by just learning how to ride the surfing board. Just get on it, balance on it. You're going to fall sometimes. You're going to climb back up. But if I tell you this exact analogy, you're going to say, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." But when it comes to your training, your nutrition, when it comes to building the body that you want and the whole process that entails, you expect yourself to be great just from one moment to the other. But it's a habit. All these are micro habits that they pile up into, progress or non-progress.
Yeah.
Right?
So a lot of people depend on sheer force in the beginning, just forcing themselves to do everything correctly. This is why it's such a typical sign, when we have a trainee who gets started with us, we, make a program for him and he's like, yeah, this is too easy. I want more. I want to train 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. And, those are the people that, if they don't listen to us, it never works.
How does that song go? Easy come, easy go? Is it how it is? Yeah, because most people, if they have super high excitement, that usually shows us that the same, in much the same way that excitement comes, it also goes. And the problem with that is that everyone, you are going to encounter struggles along the way, obstacles. You're going to fail, you're going to mess up, you're going to drop the ball.
Yeah.
And when that happens, people who are overexcitable, they just drop off the horse. They say, "Oh my God, I thought this was going to be easy and it's hard." But things are hard sometimes. Of course, we're here to make things much, much easier and as easier as possible, but that's not without your... you need to apply yourself. We can lead you to the fountain, but we cannot make you drink. You cannot force you, no matter what we do. And if we have to force you, and if you have to force yourself on a certain method, on a certain system, one that you do not like, one that you hate, then the law of psychological reactance is going to take over. And that law means that the more you pressure yourself into things, the more you're going to negatively react to that same pressure after a bit. And you're going to hate your life for doing that. And then if you start and stop, and quit all the time because you're trying methods that don't work for you and that you don't like, then every time you stop, the next time that you're going to try, your confidence is going to be so much lower and so much lower and so much lower than the previous time. And it's going to be so much harder to get on top of things because now you have the evidence that you have failed over and over again.
Yep.
That you pretty much have set yourself up to fail, unless you know what we just shared, that this is going to happen if you have started and stopped 1,000 times. And now that you know it, you can figure out a better solution. You can figure out a method that works for you. It's how our coaching is created. We don't tell you do this exact thing. We coach you to find the best way that fits your life, your circumstances, and your goals. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, is it?
No. So that's what I wanted to say, actually. So this doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It's going to take work. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone if you want to change. Like, there's no change out of your comfort zone. But if you do it the right way, so, if you don't go super hard from the very beginning,
balls to the wall,
or pedal to the metal or whatever. But you take your time. This is why we have a very detailed questionnaire when we coach people in the beginning. We take our time. Like our first week, the onboarding week, we don't even have you train. We just focus on, okay, like what's your diet like? How many steps are you getting every day? Like simple basic stuff like that. And, this way.
We lube you up first.
Yeah, lube you up first.
Do we say things like those here?
We do. Go for it.
Perfect.
Be yourself.
Perfect. Unhinged?
I'm gonna regret that, but be yourself.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry for interrupting you. We like to build like a proper foundation in the beginning. Take our time, figure out what works for you, and this way we have more consistency. People who want to start super hardcore, like this typically leads to some faster results in the beginning, short term, but in the long run you just end up, injured, burned out, physically, mentally. This is like why things like, CrossFit work in the beginning, because, people go hardcore, like there's no good form, you overdo it, and then, you come to us and your lower back is messed up, your knees are messed up. I don't know, when I used to coach locally, like that would happen very often. I don't know if you had that.
Like people trying to go way too hard
at people who started hardcore, very typically with CrossFit, and, coming back to me, telling me that, they messed up their lower back, their shoulders, because, it's like you don't build it up. So your body needs to adjust, first of all, to stress gradually. You want to build a proper foundation to make sure you're not getting injured. But also that's the way you want to build habits. You want to give habits proper enough time to cement. And that way, you can end up at the point where everything is more and more effortless. It's not going to be completely zero effort. Never. Like
you're setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to be easy at times, and they're going to regress as well as progress.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
So we may have everything figured out for a week or a month or a few days, and then something's going to happen, and lo and behold, you're going to be back at square one. May say no, it's never square one, because now you have learned things, you have done some things. But most people are going to, if they mess up once, it's just going to go down the slippery slope again. When they can just simply, like, think about it, like you can just mess up a meal, like miss a workout, and then you can just go back at it.
Yep.
Like jump back on the horse and keep going. You don't need to judge yourself hard about this. Like, we're all humans. Like, the more you accept yourself and your shortcomings, the better you become at being consistent, because it's more of a psychological problem and struggle than it is physiological, than it is about your choices. It's about, most people judge themselves way too hard. It's what this culture is pushing. These most people's parents raise them a certain way to be hard and judgmental and perfectionists. Like, and they what did I want to say?
Yeah, basically, instead of beating yourself up, being super judgmental and thinking like it's all or nothing, I either do something perfect or not, you need to learn to be able to think, okay, I messed up, how do I do this the next time 10% better, 20% better? And you keep,
or even 1% better.
Even 1%, exactly.
And if you have patience, which you need to have if you want to get to a goal, like if you want to go somewhere you haven't been, you may need to take it very slow depending on your roadblocks. And you may say, all right, yeah, but other people, they've done it faster. And they've done it faster and faster than me. They're further along the way. They're doing better. Yeah, but you didn't know.
You never know where did they start,
How many times they have failed.
Yeah, and what you see on social media also is not the whole picture, never. You need to be okay with failing and getting better slowly. So giving yourself time, giving yourself a pat on the back with small wins, and, not being that all or nothing kind of mindset.
Yeah, and saying, I'm doing better more often.
Yeah.
We recently had one of our DDP trainees, but this very much resonated with him because he was judging himself hard for falling off the horse, and then he would judge himself for that, for falling off the horse.
Brian, right?
Yeah. We say names.
I can beep it, but it's the first name people are not even know.
Perfect.
I think there are more Brians than one in the States.
But it applies to everyone. Like most of our trainees come to us and they have this all or nothing mindset because they've been taught this way. They've been conditioned from a young age to expect perfection, to expect everything to roll nicely. But imagine what would happen if you expected things to happen. Not be a victim and say, you know what, all this is happening to me. Imagine if we normalized failing and messing up, and it being part of the process as it really, really is.
Yeah. It's like a little kid, you're learning to walk and you fall once and you never try again. Like, obviously, you're going to fall 1,000 times.
We would be full of crawlers.
We're not saying that, give yourself permission to constantly fail, but aim more at getting better, right? Not aiming for perfect. And give it time. It's a long process. Like, nutrition, exercise, like, these are not easy habits to build. Once you have them in place, and you see all the benefits and you see how much they amplify your life and how everything is better, then, after a certain point, it becomes easier. But it's never easy, not even for us. There are days that and usually the days that I need my workout the most, those are the days that I want to train the least. So it stays hard, but with anything worth it in life, it requires some extra work.
Yeah, but what's also very important, not more important, but very important, is that you find a method that works for you. So again, people say, go all or nothing about that. They say, so I have to go to the gym. Maybe someone doesn't like the gym. Maybe someone likes calisthenics, bodyweight training. Maybe someone doesn't like calisthenics and they like training CrossFit. Impossible.
Not in our audience.
Yeah,
you're not welcome here if you prefer CrossFit over calisthenics.
Yeah, if you like to do these squirrel orgasmic pull-ups, is that how they name them?
Yeah.
Yeah, or the fish pull-ups, or however you...
Dying fish pull-ups.
Dying fish pull-ups, yeah. But whatever you like, just find something that works for you. It's the Venn diagram, if you guys know what a Venn diagram is. The intersection between what you like, what works for your goals, and what works for and fits your circumstances and schedule. And schedule is important because if you don't have time for it, then you can't do it.
Yeah.
Something that crosses, that checks all those boxes. This is the best method for you. Don't do things that you hate, and you're going to be more consistent straight out of the box. Right?
So what are some good strategies to stay consistent, especially in the beginning when you're getting started?
So the first one is for me to eliminate most of the friction. And what do I mean by that? By eliminating most of the friction, I'm saying don't do things when they're hard to do them. One thing that we like is to front load stuff.
Yeah.
Is to, as we say it, and as Brian Tracy, the productivity guru, said it, eat the frog, or it's the same thing as making your bed first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Just get on with the stuff that matters to you.
Start your day with it.
Start your day with it. Train when you have energy. Train when you are fresh. Train when distractions aren't there. Your family is up. When you have to go to work. Train first thing in the morning, for example, or have your best meal, your most protein hearty meal first thing in the morning. Or do even in work. Do your most important work block straight in the morning.
Yep.
When you're fresh and not tired, don't leave it for the last part of the day, for the evening. For example, when you get back from work, when so many people want your attention, and get done with it. Even if you don't like training in the morning, even if you're not a morning person, we hear this all the time, you become...
Nobody's born a morning person. I love training in the morning, but I didn't just wake up one day and say, so awesome, I'm going to jump out of my bed during a cold, winter morning, and I'm going to go train. That's not how you start building the habit. Nobody feels like that. Everybody wants to stay in bed and just, scroll on Instagram or do whatever it is that you do in bed in the morning.
Yeah. So rule number 1, remove the friction. Do what you need when you're fresh. Do the most important things when you're fresh. Rule number 2 is
Never miss twice.
Why?
Well, everybody's going to miss a workout, basically, right? Something is going to happen to all of us, knock on wood, your kid might need a stitch, maybe he fell off the stairs, he has to go to the hospital. So even if you're training at the most bulletproof time of the day, for me at least, in the morning, shit can happen and you're going to miss your workout. What usually happens with a lot of people, at least, you have this nice consistency of training when you're, maybe you've just started training and you've been super consistent for a week. You miss once and then it goes like all downhill. You feel that you've lost your momentum. You don't feel that motivated to do it the next morning, and you're like, it's Friday morning, I'm going to skip today. I'm going to get started on Monday. Monday becomes next month, and suddenly you're in your bed or on the couch eating pizza 2 months later.
There's nothing wrong with eating pizza, though.
10 pounds heavier, and you're not doing anything, and your energy sucks, and you're wondering, like, why did I stop working out in the morning? I was feeling so amazing, right?
Yeah. So rule number 2 is never miss twice, because if you miss once, it happens. If you miss twice, that's an option. That's a choice, not an option. That's choice.
That's the beginning of a pattern. So even if you don't feel like training the next day, just getting in.
And what do you have to say about embracing the suck? Is it sometimes going to suck?
Yeah, it's going to suck sometimes.
But people are too touchy-feely nowadays, right? And they can't do something that's a bit hard.
There are worse things that can happen to you than forcing yourself to do a workout. So I think you have to also sometimes just get over yourself, be an adult, and do the things that are good for you. Like eat the healthy food, do the workout. Like there are a lot of more bad things.
Yeah, I can guarantee you if you can't do hard things, and if you sometimes can't force yourself to do things that you are bored to do or you just don't want to do today, you're not going to get results. So if this is you listening right now, you can either change your mindset, you can either understand and grasp the fact that not all things need to feel good at all times, and sometimes grind it out, tough it out, don't skip it just because you feel a certain feeling and you say, oh, it's not supposed to feel bad, it's working out, it's supposed to feel amazing all the time. Like, are you bored sometimes with your training?
Of course.
Do you hate it?
Of course I am.
Yeah, me too.
Usually the times that I need it the most, like that's what happens. But that's life. Like,
and find a method that works for you to make it more enjoyable. Find a method, that place that you can go and train there, that it feels better for you. Find a time slot that can be better for you. Right? Find the right environment. Right? Eat the frog, as we said. Do it first thing in the morning.
Eat the frog first.
If you mess up once, don't miss twice. Never miss twice. And embrace the suck, because sometimes it's going to be boring. You're not going to want to do it, but do it either way. Like we're coaches, right? We want to do things as easy to our trainees and clients as easy as possible. But like there's a certain point you can't make things easier. People need to apply themselves.
Yeah, that's why we're very straightforward. We tell people that, especially during those first 6 to 8 weeks when your habits are still cementing, there are going to be days that it's going to suck, that you won't want to do it, even if in the beginning you're super motivated. Like, that's going to go away. Like, that's human. That happens for everybody. So you need to give it time.
Yeah, and how do you say it? Like, living out of shape is...
Yeah, living out of shape is harder than living in shape. So it takes some work. But if you have a look at all the downsides of not being in shape, like worse health, less energy, worse mood, for me, fit exercise, morning workouts, I don't do it for the physique anymore. I mean, I don't mind looking good in front of the mirror. We all like to look good, obviously.
Like an eye candy.
Yeah, but for me, it just makes everything else better. I have more patience. I'm better with people.
He doesn't have memory though.
I don't have memory. Yeah, that doesn't. Fitness hasn't fixed that for me, but everything else works other than my memory. So I'm in general less grumpy. I'm a better person. I'm more productive at work. Everything is better if I train.
Of course, everything is better. Like, it's a vote towards yourself. Like, It means that you show yourself, that you respect your own self, and that's why you feel better and better if you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
But
if you can get a morning workout in during a day that you just feel like crap, or you're fighting with all kinds of other things, like there's nothing you can't do after that. Like that's one of my favorite mottos. If I'm going through a rough time, like I know that, if I get my morning workout in, like everything goes easier after that, because you start your day with a win, and that's how you build momentum.
And you're not supposed to, don't expect everything to go well.
Yeah.
Like especially if you don't have a system, which is why coaching is extremely important. And I know we're beating against the same drum all the time here, and we promote our coaching, and that's why. And that's because, like, imagine it this way, right? Like, imagine going somewhere you've never been before, and not knowing how to get there. You don't have a map, you don't have a GPS, you have nothing. Then how are you going to get there? And sometimes people don't even know what there is for them. So where are you going, right?
What we are saying is that there are going to be obstacles in your way. There are going to be a lot of detours, but having someone to help you navigate all that makes things easier. Not easy, but easier, right?
Yep. And wandering around aimlessly without having the route, without knowing where you're going.
Yeah. No route, no destination, really, no clear destination.
Yep.
Never works.
Yep. But once you get there, you can do it over and over again, usually, because now you have the confidence, you have the evidence that supports that you can do it. And trust me, if you believe that you can achieve your goal, you're going to achieve it no matter what.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? There are many people who lose weight on their own sometimes, and that's because they have a system, they know what they're doing, or they just find a way.
Then they found someone to help them.
Yeah, that's the way I'm talking about.
For example, I suck at the business stuff development, right? I love this project. I love building this brand, the YouTube channel, and writing my books and all that. But like John can attest, like I really suck at the business part. So at some point, I realized I can't do this by myself. So we got a business coach,
Yeah. So we got a business coach.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's pretty much it for that episode, I think. So the first thing to do is don't expect everything to go.
Yeah, embrace the suck.
Yeah, embrace
from
the
very beginning. It's going to be hard. Just
lower
keep
your
that in mind.
expectations of yourself and accept your shortcomings, accept mess ups, expect slip ups. And the second thing is eat the frog, as we mentioned.
Yeah, get it done early in the day.
Yeah, and
ideally in the morning.
And if you can't, make sure that you do it on some other time, but ensure that you start to work your way towards early morning, doing things early in the morning. So if you miss once, then never miss twice, get it on another day.
Yeah.
Right? And find a method that works for you. And I think that's it for that. That's all it is.
That's a wrap.
Thank you guys for listening to us, blabbering about, sometimes saying gibberish stuff. Yeah.
We are Greeks.
Yeah. It all sounds Greek to you.
Yeah.
That's a good phrase. Yeah. So see you soon, guys. See you on the next episode.
Yeah. If you want to learn more about our coaching, there's a link below. More episodes coming soon, and keep on training.
Keep on training.